Welcome back to Gary Mack Studio, everyone. I'm going to continue on with this ram painting, and I'm going to, after looking at it overnight, and I woke up in the middle of the night and just looking at this thing, I'm going to change. My original idea was to have the light shining across this way. I think I'm going to change that and have the light kind of coming down this way. Maybe right up in this area where that sun will strike some of these elevated areas along the way. It'll give it more of an interesting effect where the light will hit high spots on the mountains, just in areas. And then this part over here, of course, is going to be the focal point. This is going to be the brightest part in the painting. So right now I'm going to work on this sky a little bit and get this a little lighter up here, so that it'll give the indication that there's some sun coming through those clouds and shining down in this area. So we'll just get starting on that, and I'm not going to talk while I'm painting. I'll do a voiceover when I go to edit this thing. So you guys, please subscribe. And I described in the last video that I'm getting quite a few followers, but they're not watching the whole tutorials. And I'm just about monetized. I think I had a 440 something subscribers this morning when I looked. But I've only got like 1,500 watch hours, and I need 1,500 more. I'm halfway through there, and I'm not complaining. It's gone pretty fast. I've only been doing this regularly for the last 3.5 months, 4 months. It was in January. I think it was in the end of January when I actually started doing YouTube. So it's progressed pretty good. I'm not complaining about that, but sure would be nice to reach that 3,000 hour mark. So hang in there and watch the tutorials, because there's a lot goes on between when I start right now and the end of this that not only pertains to this, but will pertain to you and your ventures and your endeavors for whatever it is that you might tackle, that might be new to you, might be old to you. It might be something you've been pursuing for years. But there's always that edge of learning, and this is what we're going to explore today, and this is what I'm going to talk about as I paint. But I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it as a voiceover, because I can sit down and think more about what I want to say instead of concentrating on painting. So right now I'm going to concentrate on painting, and then I'll talk as I paint through the computer. All right, y'all hang in there and watch, because I've got a lot to say on this one, and I got a lot to say about yourself and how people see things differently. And these are some of the things I want to explore. Philosophy. I guess you would have to categorize it as philosophy. And I love to philosophize. I love to examine people's minds, their actions, their hearts, their goods, their bads, their failures, their triumphs. I love to explore those, and those are some of the things I'm going to talk about and how those things are achieved. For me, I'm not an educated man. I say I'm not an educated man. I have learned a lot in my 77 years. Schooling? No. If you've watched my videos on how I learned to read, I didn't even learn to read until I was 27 years old, and my wife taught me how from a King James Bible. So y'all view that. It's an interesting testimony of my childhood education. So anyway, we'll get off of that. Let's get on to this, and we'll get going. And y'all hang in there and stay tuned, because I've got a lot to say about this. So see you in just a bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to revise the sky a little bit, and right here I'm just lowering down my easel to the next lower step, so I won't have to reach so high to work on that sky. And I'm going to lighten that one area up, and I am going. Last night I woke up. In fact, just nearly every night I wake up around 3 o'clock, and my mind is occupied with things that I normally don't think about, and nearly every single night, and it won't vary 15 or 30 minutes either way. It's usually right at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and my mind just runs amok, and so this morning I looked at the painting. I kept it in front where I can view it. Woke up, turned the light on, and stared at the painting for a few minutes, and I saw several things I needed to do. I was going to change the composition completely. In this tutorial, you'll see how I change it. So up in that sky right now, I am going to lighten up where I want light direction to come from, and I move it over to the left just a little bit from where I originally started, over on coming from the right to the left. So I'm going to come more to upright and kind of downward. And as I was contemplating all of this and changing this composition, several things came to mind, and I stopped and I just wrote them down. And I do this nearly every night. Things will come to mind, and I write them down, and I have got volumes and volumes of things that I have written by inspiration in the middle of the night. And this is the one that came to mind last night, and I just wrote it down. And it's about examining our own visual mind, whether it be in art or work or life sustainable or play. The thought can be varied as an abstraction, realism, religious, fantasy, moody, sensual. But art is the result of how one thinks. And vision's put to the visual, where the inner man comes to the surface in the outer man, and the hand, and it is put to hand to apply. Artists think in different terms than most people, and a mind that thinks in abstractions does not think in terms of realism. Not to say when one thinks in abstract, it doesn't mean think in terms of or realistic, but only in the vision of. And putting those images to hand for one who applies the hand to the vision that is abstract may clash and not be able to construct a vision for realism that the mind might perceive, and vice versa. Not to say that everyone can't think in abstractions, they can. Uh, Not to say that everyone cannot think in terms of realization, they can. But to put it to hand is another matter. And every fine artist, they're in a war between the hand and the mind, where the mind in domination tries to control the hand that the eye sees. This rebellion for the hand to cooperate, it takes a hard discipline of mind to dominate that hand in the quest. And the quest for dominance begins. If the mind is weak, then the quest is lost at hand. If the mind is strong and not given in to defeat, the hand has to obey. One has to make it happen. And to do so, there is one element that cannot be denied, and that for education, and that is practice. Practice. And practice some more. And in that, if one is not enjoying the task, then it is futile to continue. And inspiration is not a given. Inspiration is earned. If one is inspired to a task, then does nothing, then he hasn't earned anything but a shoulda, an attitude of lost, and a shoulda, coulda, a woulda, and usually that is just due to laziness. There are two groups of people concerning art: people who create them and people who enjoy them. The people who only enjoy them rarely have the tenacity to construct themselves what their mind might perceive as art or as a vision put on a canvas or drawing or whatever it might be, a sculpting. The one who creates completes a quest and moves on to the next for occupants to enjoy. And in that is where the satisfaction for creating is the reward. That's the most satisfying thing when I put a brush to a canvas and complete a vision that I can see visually. I can put my hands on it and I can show other people this is what I saw in my mind. And it is so rewarding, and it doesn't matter what the art might be. It might be a dancer, it might be a singer, it might be a musician. When that task is completed, there's no greater reward than to sit back and say, "I did it. I did a good job," and those who come and look and hear and see and occupy that your moment in themselves, it's so rewarding. I say all of this for one reason, and no matter the task at hand, education, work, or whatever is placed in the mind for appeal, one can accomplish anything if you do not faint during the task when it doesn't go exactly as planned. I look at all failures in myself, and I've learned this in my 77 years, as failures as education, experience in learning what to do and what not to do, and try not and make the same mistakes again. And if a failure comes along and I let it get the best of me, then I have failed. I quit. I just stopped. And as an old man, and when I look back to many opportunities given me from childhood up to date, I wonder, why didn't I apply myself and just do it? And there has been many of those in my life. So that's my little spiel for this day. Now then, well, let's get back to this painting, and you can see where I've changed this composition and started moving things around. I redid the mountain. I'm okay. Well, I've run out of time today, and y'all, please come and watch and subscribe and watch the whole video if you will, because I think there's something in there for everyone. And if you would, hit the likes button, tell a friend, and this thing is only 17 minutes long, so that's not going to take a whole lot of time out of your life to watch the whole video, and it sure would help get me that other 1,500 view hours. So I love y'all, and I will catch you on the next one, and probably tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Sunday, isn't it? I might do one tomorrow. I was supposed to go over with my daughters and have a dinner with them. So anyway, we'll see. It'll be tomorrow, Monday. I love y'all. We'll catch you next time. Bye bye.